Welcome to Beautiful Salvage. We are so happy that you found our channel. We are all about finding old things and making them new again. Whether it is old, worn out home decor, random junk, or antique and vintage pieces that need to be revived with a little paint, cleaning, repurposing, upcycling, and some TLC, we are always up for the challenge. We hope that you are inspired to bring your own creative ideas to revive old items and make them beautiful again. Please like this video and join our YouTube channel. We would love to have you as part of our community. And most of all, have a beautiful day. Hello, welcome to Beautiful Salvage. Today it is just me. Usually my aunts Angie and Julie are with me upcycling and having fun recreating old home decor and items that we can upcycle and repurpose. But today it's just me. It's been hard to get together this week because of summer activities, and simply I was just too tired in the beginning of the week to get together. I've been working construction on our new boutique on the building. So we bought a building in Crosby, Minnesota that will be the home of Beautiful Salvage. And I've been actually doing the construction work, which has been a lot of fun, but very tiring. So I finally am energized today to get some of these projects done. And I thought I would take you along on the journey since it's been a little bit since we put out a video. And even if Angie and Julie aren't with me today, I thought maybe you would have fun watching some of the upcycles for today. So what we have is a lot of candle pedestals. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of candle pedestals. How I accumulated all of these candle pedestals was on the 100 Mile garage sale. So we usually take and rent a U-Haul and go from Hastings, Minnesota down to Winona, and we hit the 100 Mile garage sale, which is in the beginning of May. And we just fill the U-Haul up, and then I can take from all the stuff that we've gotten and spend the summer or even into the winter sometimes creating and upcycling from all the stuff that we've gotten. So today we have several things from the 100 Mile. I think the only thing on this workbench that is not from the 100 Mile is this lavender tray with a box here. I got that at a separate garage sale. Everything else on the table came from the 100 Mile garage sale. So we have the candle pedestals, and usually I like to have some form of uniformity in the boutique. So that means that like a grouping of all the same color or all of the same item, just so that your eye can rest. And also it's just fun, so that if more than one person wants the same type of thing, there's more than one of that thing. I also bought these little handles. There must be from someone redoing their kitchen. There's quite a few of them. It's about 26 of these handles, and I soaked them already in a heavy degreaser. And what I'm going to do is just simply put some rub and buff on them just to maybe make them a little more elegant. And I'm going to just sell them as is. Sometimes I would keep handles for furniture pieces, but I think that we have such a large group of these that I could probably sell them individually or together as a grouping. And then I have this cute little bench. It collapses, and it's like it's nailed shut for some reason. They kept it from collapsing, but just it folds up. It was $3, and I'm going to just give it a simple paint job and put an IOD transfer on the top here. I'm not sure what any of the colors will be for today. I just kind of wing it and see as we progress here what colors things will turn out. And then this little lavender, I don't know, it's like a faux styrofoam lavender, which I might try to get rid of. But so I didn't realize when I bought this that the bottles are stuck into this crate here, and I'm afraid if I try to pull the bottles out, then they might break. So I'll just have to see if I can loosen those, see as time goes on, but I'll show you this up close. And you see there's resin in those bottles. It's one of those things where you just you're in the garage sale mode and you're just seeing all this stuff, and I just grabbed it without really thinking about how it was put together, how it was made, or how I was going to redo it. And then I have this Granny Chic Swan, and Julie looked at me like I was crazy when I picked this up, but for some reason I liked it, and I'm going to see if I can upcycle it so I can like it even more. We'll see. And then the other project for today is the big project. I have a big furniture piece that I was given by my uncle. My uncle gave it to me. He empties out storage units that he owns, and someone left this old writing desk slash bookshelf in a storage unit, and it's a very neat old antique piece. Definitely needs some love, and so I'm planning on painting it in this green color, which is our accent color in our new boutique. We're painting a lot of displays in this color, and we're also adding a library. So this bookshelf writing desk could be perfect to store some of our books on, and we'll just see how it turns out. I'll show you that in a little bit. All right, I'm going to get started. This piece is a beautiful antique secretary desk, but definitely needed some TLC. I'm thankful that the wood is in pretty good condition. There was some work to be done on the hinges, broken glass door, and the back of the piece needed to be reattached. And there were also some unmatched wheels and a missing wheel on the bottom. My vision for this piece was to add some color and texture, but not so much as to change the piece completely, but just to enhance its beauty. I'm really loving the cottagecore decor lately, and I think this piece would fit perfectly into that type of style. What is really neat about this piece is that it has a key that has to be used in order to open all of the drawers and doors. The key kind of acts as a drawer pull or a knob. When you turn the key to unlock the drawers, the key gets locked into position and you actually pull on the key to open the drawers. So the key is very important for this piece. I will have to make sure to keep track of it. My first step was to remove all the drawers and doors and then try to take off the wheels on the bottom so it could sit flat. It was a bit interesting taking off the wheels since they were all each attached a bit differently. I think whoever had this piece was hunting down furniture wheels to try and use, because inside of the desk was a bag of mismatched furniture wheels. Since they were all in matching, I just decided it no longer needed wheels, and now it sits flat and is very stable. I hammered all of the loose nails in the back of the piece and took my pin trim nailer and added a few more where the back was a bit loose. I scuff sanded the entire piece and used some old-fashioned Dawn dish soap to clean some of the dust and cobwebs. I love the look of old vintage wood, so I decided to leave the desk door, big door, and the trim at the bottom in the wood color. I taped off the trim at the bottom and it was time to paint. I absolutely love my paint sprayer. If you have an air compressor and like painting furniture, I highly recommend getting one. It is a game changer and makes painting go so much faster. I did end up spraying another coat of paint once this first coat had dried, but overall I had really good coverage. After removing all of the old brass hardware on this piece, I soaked them in a glass with a heavy degreaser overnight. I have used several different brands of degreaser, including Super Green and this Mean Green Super Strength. They seem to both work pretty well. When it was time to take the broken glass out of the door, I took a tiny screwdriver that could squeeze between the trim holding the glass in place. I pried the trim off and the glass was very easy to remove. Now we are going to bounce back to the other projects. This project actually took 2 days because of the coats of paint that needed drying time. I will show you the second day of this project at the end. I decided to keep today's projects very simple with only 3 paint colors total. The candelabras all got a scuff sanding and cleaning. I decided to spray them in Rust-Oleum's milk paint in the color Eclipse. I have a small spray gun, which is nice for smaller projects and helps when I have more than one project going at a time, so I don't have to switch my paint color in them. I just pour a little bit of my milk paint in the spray gun and then I add probably about a teaspoon of water just to thin it down so it goes through the spray gun a little easier. When I spray something with a lot of curves and angles like these pedestals, I spray a coat of paint, let them dry, and then I flip them upside down and spray them again because most of the time I end up missing spots, and so this way I know that I have full coverage on every piece. For simplicity, I used the same color on this little stool. I also have these IOD traditional pot transfers that are in white, and I knew they would look beautiful against the black background. If you have been watching so far, please give this video a thumbs up as it really helps YouTube push our content and channel out. We would also love it if you subscribed and joined our YouTube community. Don't forget to hit the bell to be notified of new videos. Once my transfer was applied, I lightly distressed the stool, letting some of the wood color show through. I decided, since I had so much to do today, that I would go with the easy route and seal the stool and the candle pedestals with a clear satin spray from a can. I love the look of the satin finish. The candle pedestal project wasn't anything super creative, but they definitely turned out to be very classy looking. Onto the impulse garage sale find. I really wanted the bottles out of this wooden crate because the resin that was in them looked like old yellow water from a bouquet that had been in the vase too long. I got my heat gun out and tried to heat the glue up a bit so it could release the bottles. After a little bit of time, they did come out. I know it is not anywhere near Christmas time, but I need to be thinking about Christmas all year round since it's our busiest season of selling. So I decided this would become Christmas decor. I had the green color out already and painted the crate green. Next, I found an old spindle from a crib that I thought would be cute as Christmas tree bases. I cut the spindle into 2 different lengths and drilled a pilot hole for the bottle brush trees to stick into. I sprayed the spindles white outside along with my Granny Chic Swan. When the spindles were dry, I distressed them and hot glued the bottle brush trees in. I then glued them into place and pin nailed them for extra stability. I put silver scrap ribbon at the base of the trees, and I had some little ornaments that were perfect to tie around the spindles that added just a cute little detail. For the last 2 small projects, I used my favorite Rub and Buff color in Gold Leaf. I just simply applied it by rubbing it onto all of the pulls and then the metal candelabras. Stay tuned until the end when I show you all of these projects staged and in their finished glory. Now we are going to circle back to our furniture project and show you the progress and finishing touches of the second day. Beautiful Salvage is about using things that we have on hand already, so I didn't want to go out and spend any money on redoing this piece, so I came up with an idea for the door and with some material that I had on hand already. I had some thin hardboard that was about the same thickness of the glass that was previously used in the piece. I cut the board to fit and then had an idea to use an old beach mat that someone had given me to cover the board. I love the texture of caning and was really tempted to go buy some to put on the door. If my idea wouldn't have worked, I probably would have gone and bought some caning, but fortunately my idea worked. I painted the beach mat in a Java brown color and used a damp rag to kind of smear the paint into a wash. This helped to tone the color down a bit, and it matches the stain color on the piece. I cut the beach mat to fit the hardboard and glued it on with some liquid nail caulk. Now it was time to finally finish all of the brass hardware on this piece, and of course here we go with the rub and buff again. I just love the rub and buff. These pieces were already brass and you can kind of see how beautiful the back of all of these hardware pieces are, but I just rubbed and buffed them with the antique leaf color and they turned out really beautiful. After popping the covered board into place, I re-nailed the tiny trim pieces that used to hold the glass in. This worked out perfectly and I love the textured look of the door. I also made shelf liners out of this beach mat as well. To finish the painted portion of the piece, I lightly sanded, dusted, and sprayed a coat of water-based clear coat over the paint. After that was dry, I repeated the process again by lightly sanding, dusting, and then I sprayed the final second clear coat. I put all of the hardware back onto the piece, and here you can finally see the piece starting to come into my full vision, but we're not quite done. The door of the desk part had some cracks under the hinges along with stripped out screws, so I used some all-purpose putty Bondo to fill in the cracks and old screw holes. I love this Bondo product. It's simple for repairs like this. It's quick to mix up and very quick to dry. Once the Bondo dried, I attached the hinges with new screws, and don't worry, I put rub and buff on the screw heads to blend them in with the hardware. One of my pet peeves is when someone replaces old screws with new ones and they don't match the piece. I could have refinished the stain on this piece, but I am in love with the worn out beautiful patina of this wood, so I simply oiled it with one of my favorite cleaning orange oils. It smells so good and gives the wood a deep luster and revives the color of the stain. I also use it on the inside of drawers to give them a clean smell as well.